Our PARSHA primarily deals with Yetzias Mitzrayim, right? Shalach Paro Sa'am, he sends the nation out of Egypt. And they're going, and they're not sure what to do, and they find themselves by the Mitzrayim, Noisim Achareim, chariots, horses, sounds, war cries. Rashi says Hashem is judging them at that time. Should they drown together with the Egyptians? Will they die or will they live? But no. Daber el Bnei Yisrael vayiso, go tell the Jewish people to travel, go right into the Yam Suf, to the sea, and they cross into the sea. And they cross the Yam Suf, splits. Jewish people out on the other side, Egyptians down for the count. And Hashem performs wonderful nisim. The Bnei Yisrael, when they see the Egyptians, the dead bodies getting spit out on the shores, they break out in song. And really what I'd like to focus on tonight is an understanding of Shira. I know we've touched on it a few previous times in the last few years. Nevertheless, I think it's important to honor this Shabbos Shira with an in-depth understanding of what Shira is, what the Bnei Yisrael were singing, what they were experiencing at that time, and how that's relevant to us. The first thing we're going to ask is the Yerushalmi's question. The Yerushalmi in Pesachim asks a question. Why did the Bnei Yisrael only sing Shira only after Kriyas Yam Suf? They should have sang Shira right away, after they left Mitzrayim. After all, they had left. They were redeemed. They were no longer slaves. It wasn't apparent at the time that the Egyptians were going to change their minds and follow them, try to destroy them, kill them. They had thought that they were free men. Why didn't they sing Shira right away? And the Gemara answers, because Yetzias Mitzrayim alone was not the complete Geula. It wasn't the full Geula. It wasn't a matzav. It wasn't a situation that they found themselves that could bring them to Shira. It wasn't till the Geula was complete and they crossed the sea was split, that they were able to sing. They were able to say Shira. The Gemara says, "In Makom l'Shira ad hagemar." There's no place for song, there's no place for Shira until there's completion, until it's complete. It's very important for us to note that the Shira, the nace of Kriyas Yam Suf was not just an additional nace. First they went out of Mitzrayim, then they were faced with a situation of death on the right, death on the left, death in front, death behind. What are we going to do? And Hashem performed another miracle. But rather, the miracle of Kriyas Yam Suf was an intrinsic to the Geulas Mitzrayim. It was the completion of the Bnei Yisrael being redeemed from Mitzrayim. Now, really, we should know this answer of the Yerushalmi, because we say in Tefillah, Vayosha, right after we say, right, Yivarach David, the Charisimai Habris, to give us the land of Israel. Vayosha Hashem Bayoim Ahu Es Yisrael Miyad Mitzrayim. Right? When did the Yeshua come? It was on that day that the Yeshua came and not before. The completion of the Yeshua was on that day. Shira Chadasha Shibchu Geulim Shimcha Gadol Asfas Hayam Yachad Kulam Hoidu Vimlichu V'Amru Hashem Yimlech V'Alavai. When were they able to sing a Shira Chadasha Shibchu? When they're called Geulim. Only when they are now redeemed. They are people who are redeemed. Geulim. Until then, they weren't Geulim. Only now. Where are they Geulim? Asfas Hayom. Only now they're Geulim. And therefore, only once they can be Geulim. Vayoyisha Hashem Vayoyimahu, only when there's a complete salvation. Ein mokorim l'shira ad hagmar, says Yerushalmi. There's no place for shira until it's complete, until the process is done. Let's try to understand this idea that shira comes when there's a completion, when we're called geulim. What does this mean? The Maral in Netzach Yisrael states, the ha'adam kishehu b'shleimus hagomor, when a person's in a complete state of, right, in a complete state, or a state of shleimus. Shleimus. What's shleimut? Shleimus. What is that? State of complete, he's sholem. He's one. He's whole. He's complete. We'll try to define that a little bit better soon. Oz noisin shira. Then he's able to say shira. V'shavach l'mi shemimenu hashlemus. He's able to sing and give praise to he whose shlemus, completion, emanates from Hashem Echad. Hashem Shalem, Shemoi Shalom. This idea that God is complete, one and whole. Therefore, the idea of completion
bring to the Shemot, to understand the Shemot,
comes from God. If we reach that level, then we can sing Shira and give Shevach to He who Shleimus emanates from. What's the opposite of Shleimus? The Maral says, Avel, mourning. An Ovel is somebody who is missing something. Something has been lost from him. There's a piece and part of Rahman al-Litzlan, of the Ovel's life, that is no longer. It's missing. It's not there. It's not Sholem. What happens to the Ovel? Says the Maral. He's Yoshev Doimim. He sits quietly. Right? It's also for an Ovel to say Shalom Aleichem. And you shouldn't say Shalom Aleichem to an Ovel either. Not only that, but Shalom. You can't say Shalom. It's prohibited from saying Shalom.
Shalom.
Shalom. Not only that.
Can't say hi.
He can't even. You can't even talk to him unless he talks first. Piv sasum lo yiftach es piv. He closes his mouth. Remember the words of the Maral. It's very important to understand this. Aval kasher hu bishleimus. But the opposite when he's bishleimus.
Yeah.
Oz moitzi gam kein hadover al apoyel v'noisin shira v'shevach. Then, when a person is b'shleimus, he's b'simcha, the opposite of avelus. And when a person is b'simcha, his mouth opens and he can sing shira. Let's try to understand even further. What does this mean? It's very evasive right now. Rabbi Shapiro in the Sefer Mimamakim explains the peh, the mouth, is the tool that we have as human beings to bring out our inner emotions. It's the means that enables us to display our pneumius, if there's such a thing. Pneumius, by definition, means not on display.
Not
right? Pneumius means not on display, right? It means inner.
Yeah.
The mouth gives us the ability to somehow connect to that pneumius. Everything that comes out of that mouth is from somewhere deep down inside. It's an emotional expression, or it gives us the ability to display our feelings to the outward world. It's really the connector between our inner self, or our neshama tahira, and our physical guf, is the peh. The peh expresses our emotions and our machshava, our intellect.
So,
Shira.
So we're saying it's the connection between ruach and neshama, because ruach is sort of like the, well, not ruach,
No.
ruach and
The
nefesh.
ruach
and nefesh
is the connection between neshama
and
and guf
right,
and nefesh.
right. Okay.
The shira is an expression of someone who, the shira is the greatest expression of speech. It's the pinnacle. It's the height of all dibur. Because not only is it just plain speech, it's speech plus
Emotion.
harmony, song, purpose, emotions, intellect, everything, right? Knowledge. Everything gets placed into the word to express it in a beautiful way. That's the idea of shira. It's the greatest. He calls it the sea. In Hebrew, is right? I think it's a modern Hebrew word. Hasi. Hasi shall be to Isvasayim. It's the height.
The spitz.
It's the spitz, the height of Bitu Isvasayim. When Dibur connects with rhyme, music, emotions, intellect, and everything comes together to connect the inner and the outer, to express the inner outward. Only when somebody is feeling joy can you really sing. I don't know, it could be that non-Jewish songs and that might depress you, I'm not sure. It's not really a speech about music, it's a speech about shira, but
but you could say that whatever it is when you're not happy may be in English a song, but it certainly is not
a
shira.
Exactly.
That's
Shira is an expression of simcha. Whoa.
It's not only words and music. It's
Correct.
more than that.
I want to add. We all know this is a famous expression. I think it comes from a Rashi somewhere. I forgot right now. It's a song also. Ein Adam Shar Shira Elo Mitoich Simcha. a person can only sing if he's happy. The emotion called happiness, we once explained the emotion of ava, of love. What's love? Love is an emotion which Hashem gave us in order to allow us to connect to something. So what's simcha? What's simcha? Simcha is the emotion which we feel after we connect to something.
No, it's cause and effect.
Right? Simcha is a state of emotion, right? Of an expression. It's the gratification of the SHMOS.
An effect.
Yeah. Well, it's Hashem created it so that we can enjoy the feeling of oneness.
Okay.
Right? Ava is Hashem created so that we can be motivated, right? To get there. Simcha is so that we can enjoy it. Just in the literal sense, what's a simcha? You go to into a simcha this week. What's a simcha? So usually it's a wedding. What's a wedding? What's a wedding? It's two people unite as one. So why is everybody so happy? So what? Big deal. That's life, right? Everybody does. That's what's supposed to happen. You're supposed to marry and have a family and whatever. I mean, what's the big deal? Why are you happy?
They are fulfilling.
Because you don't have to pay any more for their credit cards. Why are the parents so happy at a wedding?
Because if you read Rambam,
because you're rebuilding. You're going back to rebuilding the Achdus, the way it's supposed to be.
Because what's happened is that a state. I mean, this is the machshava explanation, like how we're explaining it. What's happening is that there's a unification of sorts. There's a shlemus that was created, a dvekus, an attachment, a completion. Two halves made a whole. That makes everybody really happy. That's why it's very hard to get yourself happy. I mean, you could drink wine, but that's a different shmooze.
That's not happy.
Yeah. Well, okay. That's a different shmooze. But it's very hard to try to get yourself happy without understanding and being involved in what's going on at the wedding, right? If you're not part of it, right? We have to feel part of it because it's our, even if we don't know them, there's still there's a completion, a shleimus that's being created. That's the idea of a simcha. We also know that the pasuk in Shemot says, Oz Yimale Schok Pinu. Oz, then, when Mashiach comes, right? Yimale Schok Pinu. There will be simcha. Where is there going to be simcha? Pinu, in her mouth? I want to ask you something. Okay? How many times have you read that pasuk?
Millions. Hundreds.
Okay? Did you ever ask the question, simcha is in your mouth?
No.
Simcha's not in your mouth. It dawned on me today, not when I wrote the shir, when I was just reviewing the shir. I like to review it before the shir. Why does it say schok pinu? Why schok pinu? Simcha's not in your mouth.
No.
Simcha is an emotional feeling. Why? It's not. Maybe it's in your legs. You're dancing.
It's like
why?
how you express it.
Yes.
Right. Can I ask you something? What's the physical expression of simcha? Not jumping up and down, because you could be jumping up and down. What?
Sure.
Well, yeah, but even more basic. That's true. But even more a smile. A smile. The smile is the physical expression of happiness. Why do you smile when you're happy? Why is it your mouth? Right? That's what the pasuk means. Azimale pino. Right? You need to get a smile. Why are you smiling when you're happy? Why is it your mouth? The reason is because the expression of simcha.
It's a social behavior. A smile is not a social behavior. That
Yeah, but why your mouth? Why not your? Why don't you start blinking 20 times?
Yeah. Why don't you wrinkle your nose up?
Wrinkle your nose. Yeah.
Yeah.
Why is it your mouth?
I mean,
Why do you
don't get-
whiten
they're
your
not
teeth?
Tabitha.
That's when I started. Yeah, that's vanity.
Wiggle your ears. I mean, the rabbits do that. Anyways, the thing
So
is...
so
it's
the idea
smart.
is that it's like we said, it's your mouth, it's the dibur, or we'll call it the elevated dibur, or the pinnacle of dibur, of speech, called shira, called song, which is the greatest expression of simcha. Simcha is an emotional feeling which is experienced from a state of shlemus,
Right.
which, if it gets high enough,
Exorcising.
becomes expressed through the mouth. Shira.
Yeah.
Now, Az Yimale Schok Pinu. Does anyone know what the Gemara says about Az Yimale Schok Pinu? The Gemara says that only Az Yimale Schok Pinu.
Yeah.
Asr la'adam lemali piv schok ba'olam hazeh. It's asr, it's prohibited for a person to fill his mouth with schok, with happiness. Right? Literally happiness. Doesn't mean leitzanos, it means happiness. That's how we know that you're supposed to break a glass at a wedding. Not supposed to feel a complete
The
level of
penthouse is gone.
simcha. Why?
That's Rabbi Schwab's.
Yeah, that's what they say in
That's
PARSHA's Vayigash every year.
Right.
But why? Because we don't have the Beis HaMikdash.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So what? So what does Simcha have to do with the Beis HaMikdash? So the feeling of Simcha is very clearly a reflection, an effect, a reflection of
Shemot.
Shlemus. We can't have the complete Shlemus in this world without the Beis HaMikdash. You can be Shalem with your wife, but that's just a small mashal. That's a small example of Shlemus. It's a minuscule idea of Shlemus. The greatest idea of Shlemus is between us and Hashem. Beis HaMikdash. Hashem's here with us in this world. If you don't have that, then we're chaser. Right?
Heber.
Right. Chaser.
Oh.
Oval. Tisha B'Av comes to mind, no?
Right?
Right? Tisha B'Av comes to mind.
Right.
Right? Sit on the floor. Can't say shalom. The opposite of simcha is Avel.
Yes. Avel.
Because Avel means missing something. An Avel is missing something. Not shalom. Let's try to understand even more. There's a Medrash Rabbah. Oz Yoshir Moshe. Hadod Ichsiv. Nochain Kisacha Me'oz. It says Oz Yoshir Moshe. Then Moshe will sing really, right? Right, and the Medrash correlates what's the Oz Yoshir Moshe, just like you find in other pasuk. What's the other pasuk? We say it. It's the Shira of Friday. We say it in the Friday night Tefillah as well, right? In Hashem Malach Geis Lavish Hashem Oizis Hazar Tikun Tevel Balti Vod. Nochain Kisacha, right? It means your chair, your throne,
Yeah.
is
Kisacha.
Nachon means
Proper.
well, not proper, but to
Correct.
All the
establish,
Establish.
right? Tikon, right?
The Kayem.
Yeah, your throne is established Nachon Kisacha Me'oz. From then, from when? From when? What from then? From when? So literally it means from always, right? From always, right? The Medrash says it means me'az yashir. Why? So the Medrash explains. Amar Brachya b'shem Rabavo. Afal pi shema olam ata, right? Nochain kisacha me'az. From then, ma'olam ata. You're always. Says the Medrash.
But kiss.
Until we
Nochain kisacha me'az me'olam ata. That's the pasuk. Afal pi shemei olam ata. Even though you were always, lo nisyashiv kisacha, right? Your throne, so to speak, hasn't been substantiated. You haven't sat in your throne literally. V'lo nodata ba'olamacha, and you haven't become known in your world. Ad she'amru banecha shira, until your children said shira. L'kach nemar nachan kisacha me'oz. From Oz Yosher, that's when you became known. Me'olam ata, it's true. You were always Me'olam ata. But Nachan Kisacha, when did you, Yaakov becomes established, sit in your throne? That's when? That's by Oz.
Our children had to proclaim it.
Yeah. You became known in your world.
Say it every year.
Mashal Melech, he says an example, a king. So he went and he did a war. So it says, and he won. Before the war, he was a melech. He was a melech omed. After the war, he's an Augustus. I think it means an emperor or something. He was an emperor after the war because he became bigger than him. So the Medrash says that there's really three levels. There's the level Kadosh Baruch Hu was Ata, Ata, right? Me'olam Ata. You're always Ata. You always were. But there's a level after he created the world where he became a melech. Who, right? He became the melech. His existence became attached to a world, and then there's the Hisgalus, the revelation. When? Us.
Wow.
That's the Medrash. That's the Medrash. Which means the greatest revelation of Shekhinah, of Hashem's presence on this world came by Kriyas Yamsuf. And therefore the Bnei Yisrael said Shira. When they said Shira, that was the Hisgalus on this world.
I'm sorry, can you repeat that, please?
When the Bnei Yisrael said Shira, that's when Hashem became revealed on this world. When Hashem became revealed on this world, that's when Yisrael said Shira.
Okay, that's it.
Why? Because Shira is an expression of the greatest Simcha, right? It's to express Simcha
SHMOT.
through your mouth and your words, right? When does that happen? When Shleimus is experienced.
Yes.
And when is Shleimus experienced? When there's the greatest revelation of all time. When Hashem comes down to this world. Like he was in the times of the Beis HaMikdash. Even greater.
But that had to come.
Rasa shivcha alayam mashalo ra Yechezkel ben Buzi.
The Filipino nannies saw it with
Right, the nannies, the shiksas, whatever, saw on the Yam, Kriyas Yamsuf, a revelation greater than the Ma'aseh Mekava, which is explained in Yechezkel, which is
mind-blowing.
Yeah, which is how Hashem stays in this world, whatever you want to call it. But that's what happened there, and therefore Shleimus was reached. The epitome of Shleimus, not just an experience, a worldly experience of Shleimus. The epitome of Shleimus was reached, and therefore Shira was expressed. The Maral says a beautiful, beautiful explanation of the word Oz. Oz. It's a Maral Gvuras Hashem, Perak Mem Zayin. Gvuras Hashem is the Maral on Pesach and Tzias Mitzrayim. It's in chapter 47. Listen to this. It says the word Oz is Mora. It teaches us the idea of Shleimus, of Achdus, really. Of Achdus, of oneness. Why? Because the first letter is one, Aleph, and the second letter is Zayin, 7. Right?
SHMOT here.
Okay, wait a second.
Second letter is
7.
Zayin.
Zayin, 7, Oz. So 7 is always the number which describes and refers to the Olam Hamasa, the world which was created. Right? The world was created in 7 days.
7 days.
So Teva, nature, exists in 7 days. Very interesting that although you have different types, different calendars and different religions and all that kind of stuff, nobody disagrees that the week is 7 days long. There's nobody out there that says that the week is longer or shorter than 7 days. I don't think. Never heard of it. Doesn't work. Why?
Universal.
It's universal. It's universal, yeah. Universal. Why is it universal? Because Teva exists in 7. You can't... Okay, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it, but you can't... Teva and 7 are inseparable. Teva exists because of 7, and 7 defines Teva. Nature. It exists within 7 days. And there's 6 of the weekdays, and then there's the higher day, right?
Yeah.
But the number which is always Lamala min Teva is 8. 1 above Teva. Right? Bris Milah is on the 8th day because we attach nature to
The Kohen goes.
so the idea that Aleph, or the oneness, rides over Teva, right? Really, Teva 7 is not real. It's just the Olam Hamasa. It's the created world. It exists just down here. You take one step above our world, and we're going towards Aleph. We're going towards 1. Right? The 7 Rikios, right? The 7 skies to Hashem.
Yes.
The 7 Spheros. Right? We're becoming elevated to the Aleph. The Aleph rules over the 7. The Aleph dominates the 7. This is a mashal. Right before the close, in the brachos, it says, Beshiva, it says it a few times, Ki b'derech echad yetzu elecha, with one, in one way, in one path, they'll come to you, V'shiva drachim yanusu mipanacha, and in 7 paths, you'll run away from them. What's the one? They'll come with you in one path, and you'll run away in 7, because oneness is obviously expressed when, right, in the winning army, in the more powerful army that's running after the enemy, they're one. They're the one, they're powerful, they're unified, and the defeated army is running away in 7, right? Because they're broken down into Teva. SHMOS is 1, and Chisoron is 7. Something that's deficient, missing, 7. 1 rules over 7. When there's Oz, then there's Yashir Moshe. That's what the Gvur Hashem says, the Maral says. When Shira comes, that's when there's Oz. When there's an Achdus that overwhelms the world, so to speak. Overwhelms the broken down pieces and deficiencies of this world. When there's a shlemus, a hisgalus of shlemus, a revelation of a certain type of shlemus, then there's Yashir Moshe. Nocha in Kisacha, when is Hashem's throne established? When there's Oz. When there's an actus, a shlemus in this world.
It's meaning
that's brought out.
Alles unite the 7.
Let's go even one step further.
Yeah.
I think this will be... Rashi says, Oz Yashir Moshe, everybody knows the Gemara in Sanhedrin. Mikan remez l'tchias hamesim min haTorah. Because it says, should have said Shar Moshe, that he's saying, instead it says Yashir, he will sing. When will he sing? Tchias hamesim. Tchias hamesim. Well, maybe he'll sing 20 years later, or he'll sing tomorrow. Why Tchias hamesim? Where do you get Tchias hamesim from that? Where do you get Tchias hamesim from that? That the dead people will live. Why? Why? You're getting it? You're getting it. You're almost there. We're almost there. Another Gemara. Gemara in Pesachim. V'haya Hashem l'melech al kol haaretz. Hashem will be the king on
The whole world.
the whole world. Oh, by the way, just before I continue, I wanted to tell you also something I realized as I was talking.
Okay.
It says Nochen kisacha me'az.
Yeah.
No, that's not what I wanted to say. Okay. Anyway, if I remember, I'll tell you.
Okay.
The Gemara in Pesachim says, "V'haya Hashem l'melech al kol haaretz." Hashem will be the rule al kol haaretz. B'yoyim hahu yiyeh Hashem echad u'shmai echad. Hashem will be one, and His name will be one. Ask the Gemara in Pesachim, "Atu ha'idna alav echad?" Who? Only right? B'yoyim hahu. On that day, He's going to be one. Today, He's not. He's not one. He's not one today. Of course, He's one today. What are you saying? Amar Rav Achab Rav Chanina. Loi ka'olam hazeh olam haba. We know this Gemara. Our world is not the same as the next world. Ha'olam hazeh, in our world, when you hear something good happens, you say Hatov ha'meitiv. You make a bracha Hatov ha'meitiv. Hashem is so good. When something bad happens, what do you say? Dayan. We say Hashem is the true judge. Hashem is the true judge. But in Olam Haba, in the next world, in the coming of Mashiach, it's not the same thing. Both, when something good happens, when something bad happens, you say Atov Amit. Thank you, Hashem. Why? Because when Hashem is one, when there's no other cause, power, aside from Hashem, when there's a realization of that, obviously that's the case, but when there's an actual realization of that in what we call Olam Haba, in the next world, it's impossible that anything bad happens. It's impossible. Everything is good. Everything is tough.
As you can see clearly.
Right. In our world, we don't have that yet. In our world, something that's bad,
but that's what they saw
bad
at the sea, isn't it? Isn't that what they saw?
What they
That
see.
everything's...
They saw the whole picture. They
Yeah.
saw all the way up to the heavens, mamish.
But they saw the whole
Seven
picture, that
heavens.
everything's for the good, even the slavery and...
But they saw the whole package right from the beginning. They saw right the whole thing, even the Mitzrayim, the fight with the brothers, the thing, all the deaths.
and that it was all
For the good, it was all mamish led to this moment that they became the tool for such a Kiddush Hashem, for such
what's
a
the difference between Olam Haba and Olam Hazeh? Not Hashem is Echad, because in Israel is Echad also.
He's always there.
Our perception.
Rather, our experience, or the revelation, will say, of the wholeness of the way things work. That we just see things in their fragmented way. And therefore, they're bad. If you'd see it all together, they'd all be good. So, an Olam Haba is a revelation. Olam Haba means a revelation that Hashem controls everything from beginning to the end, and therefore everything is good. Kriyas Yamsuf, they saw everything. Shivcha Alayom saw the Nevuah, prophecy, the greatest prophecy. It was the greatest revelation of Hashem Echad, of the oneness of Hashem, that the world ever experienced. It was the Aleph ruling over the Zayin. It was Nochen Kichzacha Me'az. The throne was established then. It was the completion. It was Shlemus, reaching a level of on good, on bad. It's all Hatoiv v'Hametiv. When that happens, there's an expression of Shira. How does a human being relate to that? Simcha, and then Shira. How do we relate? How can we be a kli, a vessel that can receive that shlemus? It's through the expression of shira and the emotion of simcha that we get to that.
Wow.
We communicate, right? What makes a person different than an animal?
Dibur.
We can communicate.
Yeah.
What does it mean to communicate?
Express ourselves.
But to what? You don't go to the field and communicate to the grass.
To other people.
To other people, to Hashem.
Hashem.
Relationship, very good. Dibur is just a facilitator of connection, of relationship. Every word that comes out of our mouth is an expression of our neshama. What does that mean, an expression of our neshama? The ruach memalula, right? Vayipach ba'apav nishmas chayim. Nishmas chayim, the uncle says, is ruach memalula. Means a wind of speech. Our neshama is in our speech. What's our neshama? Our neshama is our oneness with Hashem. Our chelak elokai mimal. Meaning, our neshama is one with Hashem. And the expression of neshama is through speech. It's to communicate, it's to attach. The greatest expression of speech that doesn't only have words, but has neshama, complete neshama, that has intellect, that has emotion, that has our entire being, is the shira. And when we express ourselves in that way, we become one with Hashem. When there's revelation, when there's shlemus, when there's an experience of shlemus, it's an opportunity for us to become one with Hashem. Said by Shalom Melech, he was only able to have Ruach HaKodesh when he was happy, right? So what did he do? He played in music. Love Ruach Hashem Melamed. The Gemara says
That's where David got his in.
Yeah,
That's where David got the in there.
Ruach HaKodesh only comes lo mitoch atzvus. Right? Doesn't come when a person is sad. It only comes mitoch simcha. Only comes when a person's elated. What happens? What is the final step of becoming shalom with Hashem? What's the last step that's going to happen? It's called Tchias HaMesim. What happens during Tchias HaMesim? All chisaron, all deficiency that ever happens, more than understand. We'll certainly understand. No, not accept.
No.
It'll go away. It'll disappear. There's no such thing anymore as deficiency.
Clarity.
Tchias HaMesim means what's Tchias HaMesim? Why does
Resurrection
Hashem,
of the dead.
Why does Hashem have to resurrect the dead? Just take the neshamas. Let's have a good time, right? We'll bask in. We'll bask in the glory of Hashem, right? We'll bask in we'll learn Torah. We'll learn Ksubis. We'll learn Bovavi. Whatever Olam Haba is, right? Why do we need to have Tchias HaMesim first? Because the last step of removing all deficiency from this world is to eradicate the idea of Avelis. Is to remove the idea that somebody can lose something.
Wow.
Tchias HaMesim. All dead people are now alive. There's no such thing as death anymore. And all death that was experienced is not death anymore. It's all alive. What happens when there's Tchias HaMesim? What's going to happen when Tchias HaMesim happens? What has to happen?
Everything is perfect.
We're going to break out in Shira. No question. It has to be that way. Because there's going to be another Oz Yashir. There's going to be another Oz Yashir. When is that Oz Yashir? When are they going to sing? When all the deficiencies of this world end and we reach a level of shlemus never experienced before since the time of Kriyas Yamsuf.
Well, in some respects, it's almost the same. At Kriyas Yamsuf, Mamash, Bnei Yisrael, they were dead. They thought they were dead, completely dead. Now is a,
Right.
A resurrection for them.
That's how Chazal know. That's how Chazal know that from here you see Tchias HaMesim Ratar.
Yeah, right.
He's not going to sing tomorrow. He's not going to sing.
It has to be.
It has to be that there's Tchias
ultimate
HaMesim.
glimpse.
Because if there's going to be another Shira like Kriyas Yamsuf,
It can only be there.
it can only be when death is eradicated from this world.
There's no beginning and no end.
Give you some other examples here. We say in Hodu, Yizmechu Hashemayim, V'sagel ha'aretz, the heavens will be happy, the land will rejoice. Yiram hayam umlo, right? Everything in the sea will be Yiram hayam umlo. Yalos sadai,
Chol asher bo.
Chol asher bo, all the fields will. What does it say after that? Oz.
As you're, let's say it. Yeah.
Oz what?
You run anew.
Yiranenu.
Yeah, you run anew.
Oz Yiranenu. What's going to happen? Who sings? They're going to sing to Hashem. Everything's going to praise to Hashem. The skies, the ground, the yam, everything inside the yam. Oz Yiranenu. When there's an Oz, when there's an Oz.
Above nature.
Right, one, there's an achdus, this completion. All of nature comes as one to praise Hashem. Right? It's the one over the seven. Yiranenu. Then they sing Shira. Yiranenu means to sing. Another example, right before Baruch Shamar, Hafachta mispedi lemachol li. You turn my mispedi, misped.
Misped, the hefsed by eulogy.
Right? Eulogy. Lemcholi, to a dance.
Yes.
Pitachta saki, you open up my sackcloth, which is what mourners wear. Sak.
Betazreni simcha.
Betazreni simcha. Why? For what purpose? L'ma'an yizamercha. So that we can sing. Right? Hashem, you will make no more mourning. You'll take off our sackcloth, and we will sing. L'ma'an yizamercha, covered v'lo yidaim, and we will never stop. We will never be quiet. What do you say right after that? Hashem Elokai la'olam hadaka, Hashem melech, Hashem molach, Hashem yimloch. Hashem melech, Hashem molach, Hashem yimloch. V'haya Hashem melech hakol ha'aretz b'yom hahu yeh Hashem echad u'shmo. What do you say right after Az Yashir? But right, the last pasuk between Yishtabach and Az Yashir is V'haya Hashem melech hakol ha'aretz b'yom hahu yeh Hashem echad. Immediately preceding V'haya Hashem l'melech al kol ha'aretz b'yom hahu yeh Hashem echad u'shmo echad is the Shira. Why do Levium sing Shira on their karbanos? A korban is the greatest expression of trying, from a human perspective, of trying to become one with the Ribbon Shalom. It's a human sacrifice in becoming one with the Ribbon Shalom. Such an act can't happen without Shira. Shira means to nullify oneself and to become attached to the source. SHMOS, to the source. I'll give you one more example, and this is really in the past when we've talked about Shira. It's been when Yaakov Avinu fought with the Malach, right? So the Malach asked, "What's your name?" What do you ask? My name. Fine. The Rashi says that he was going. Shira. He's going to sing Shira. Malachim sing Shira to Hashem, right? Because they see the shleimus of Hashem. Why was it his turn to sing Shira specifically then?
Finished his mission.
As we said, because he finished his mission. He has no more purpose, right? Malach means a shlichus. A malach means to be sent. So a malach has a specific purpose, which is to be sent to do something. He finished what he was sent to do. Yaakov overcame him, and now he's got to sing shira. Why? Because shira happens when there is assurance. Examples. When we started PARSHA SHMOS, we said as SHMOS that everything that Hashem had to prolong the Golus Mitzrayim, the exile of Mitzrayim, because He put into the Golus of Mitzrayim all of the galuyos, all of the future exiles that would eventually be put onto Klal Yisrael, so that when He takes them out of Golus Mitzrayim, He's creating the potential that no matter whatever happens in the future, whatever exile we're in, there will be that potential to come out. Right? That's what Sasama said. So if that's true, then the final exile will have to end
with shira. Has to.
The shira was placed at that point. Hashem revealed Himself in such a powerful way, through such a powerful nace. He stopped all teva, so that they could go right through. And there was such a revelation of oneness, so that we, at the end of time, will be able, even when it seems like all the waters are just flowing on, we're drowning. The waters are going to split, and we're going to come out the other side and see that the whole world is drowning in the waters, just like the Egyptians. There's going to be Tchias HaMesim. There's going to be the Beis HaMikdash
coming down from the heavens.
There's going to be Karbonis. And what's going to happen? The level of simcha of Oz Yimale Yischoik Pina will be upon us. Ulshaneinu Rina. Oz Yimale Yischoik Pina. This is what I had meant to mention before. Oz Yimale Yischoik Pina. Ulshaneinu Rina. And then we will sing. Oz Yashir will come out of this galus. That Beis HaMikdash are Karbonos, Tchias HaMesim. And we will sing. And our shira will be the greatest expression of song that ever was. Higher than any shira that malachim, angels, could even imagine singing. Because at that point, the point of Oz, the Nachon Kisachal Me'oz, the heavenly throne will be established in front of our eyes, and our neshamas will become mistabik, attached with their Creator. And the feeling of one will encapsulate the world, and we will be left basking in the glory of the Rabbi Shalom. We should be zoicha to that Oz now.
Amen.